So, this year Arnie came back into World of Tanks to celebrate Holiday Ops 2023, but this year not as a commander, but with a signature tank, because Arnie actually owns a Patton in real life as well, and this is the vehicle we're going to talk about in today's video, M47 Iron Arnie, or without his Iron Arnie's skin and signature style, it should be called M47 Patton Improved, if I am not mistaken. What is good about that, what is bad about that, hopefully everything is going to be in today's video. RIP Lynx 6x6. YOLO scouting is never the way to do things in World of Tanks.
Stop it. Get some help.
Guys, never do that. Learn from this Lynx 6x6. So, what do we have over here is not a top tier battle, it is actually a bottom tier battle with one artillery as well. We are facing tier 10s, and what an epic snapshot that was into Tiger 2's side. I have to say that was very lucky and very epic at the same time. Next up we have E100. We have the outline bug again over here once again. I had a clear shot actually into E100. I saw that guy quite clearly, and I saw how my shell went exactly towards E100 side armor, but it didn't hit it, and now I know there has to be something in the bushes over there. And spoiler alert guys, I was actually able to hit my blind shot, and look at the enemy team list. What do you think who I was able to hit blindly over there? Before you see the result, just, you know, make your comment, make your pick in the comment section, and let me know what do you think which guy was sitting over there and received my blind shot. And by the way, in this video I'm also going to announce all the winners, all the large Holiday Ops boxes winners from the giveaway, which I hosted a couple videos ago. I said it is going to be 100 boxes, but I decided to throw in a couple more boxes because F it guys, it is Desmos after all, and why not spend some money on you? So more about that in a second, because first of all we have to get out of this position now, because we do not have too much to do over here. I'm not able to penetrate that E100 reliably, at least from that range, although I wanted to showcase that start of the battle over there, especially because it shows how nice the gun can actually be sometimes, especially after I tuned my setup, my equipment setup a bit. At first I was playing this tank with turbo stabilizer and rammer, which was working, but the gun is stable enough actually to use it even without the stabilizer, but with improved aiming, and that improved aiming actually improved my medium to long range hits quite a bit, I have to say, because it has enough penetration for tier 8 battles, and it has enough penetration for tier 9 and 10 battles as well in most situations. And if you do not have enough penetration, you can always tap the 2 key to load in 300 millimeters of heat pen. Now, the standard AP has 230. You know, this is actually quite nice on a tier 8 medium tank, on a tier 8 premium medium tank. And switching the equipment setup from stabilizer into improved aiming seems to be working in this battle at least, and it was actually one of the first battles after I switched to this loadout. So mountain boss, seems like we're winning this battle so far quite nicely indeed, dishing out some damage over here. I'm able to fire after every 8.6 seconds with my setup, or 8.8 seconds, something around that. And this is, I would say, the weakest part about this vehicle, this low DPM. It has actually one of the lowest DPMs in the game, as you can see from here. And I mean, it has the lowest DPM compared to other tier 8 medium tanks, not even premium tanks, just medium tanks in the game. As you can see, the top guys get 2.4 thousand, 2.2 thousand. We have quite a few tier 8 medium tanks with over 2000 DPM, as you can see. But to find M47 Patton Improved or the Iron Arnie, we actually have to scroll down a lot. You can see how many tier 8 medium tanks we have, and it is right over here. One of the lowest DPMs in the game actually. All those tanks are kind of a meme rental special event tanks with 880 DPM, but the real tank starts from here. The lowest one has 122, of course, with 400 alpha. Then D44 with the big alpha gun, not the other gun, not the fast firing gun, and only auto reloaders or auto loaders left. But auto loaders have 50 burst damage potential, which, you know, counterparts that TPM. But this, I would say, is the biggest weakness or the biggest downside on this tank, just the low DPM. It has good penetration, it has 320 alpha, but if I remember correctly, the first time I saw this tank on this super test, like, I may remember it wrong, guys, help me out over here, but I do remember when I first talked about this tank, it had 400 alpha and even longer reload time, so kind of a 122 TM's treatment, but they decided to make the alpha damage down to 320 and of course make the reload time faster, but the DPM is still quite low, which I prefer. I prefer having a slightly better gun handling, faster reload time compared to just, you know, hard-hitting gun with very long reload time. This usually is not the most exciting playstyle, or not the most exciting, those are not the most exciting tanks to play, I would say so. So this battle seems to be over already. We did win the north, but enemy E100 is actually doing quite a massive destruction alone. Solo in the south has picked up 4 frags already. IS-3 over here with 83 hit points. This is the guy who we did hit blindly as well. Actually, once we have 1 blind shot into him as well. D54 bouncing the 250 alpha damage gun. APCR round off from the D54. Over here, I'm playing a bit carelessly because I can see that this battle is already over. I'm not thinking about angling my tank too much because I can see huge forces coming in from the north. You know, I'm just carelessly moving in, basically, just trying to take out the D54. I didn't know I may need those hit points later in the game because I actually didn't see how many hit points E100 had left, and that guy has a lot of hit points left, as you can see. Quickly switching to the heat rounds because the standard rounds under angle like that has no chance to penetrate anywhere. Even the lower plate is going to bounce off from E100, so trying to get some extra damage with sniping, which actually worked with the 300 heat pen. Going to take another shot to the top part of the turret. Sometimes I can get that lucky hit into the top strip on the outside of the turret, which has a hit point as well, or hitbox as well, to deal some damage. IS-3 is charging into the E100 and I am going to follow. Luckily IS-3 actually survives that one shot, so E100 now has to deal with 2 targets at the same time. That was actually a really good move, and now E100 is thinking about ramming that IS-3 to death. And is he going to be successful? And yes, he is. And now me going after E100, guys. I am like rubbing my hands together already, saying, ooh, this guy is going down, no problems whatsoever. Actually, pause, because I need to show you something. I need to show you live what happened during the live stream while I was playing this battle live, and why you should never be too confident or too cocky. Oppa! Ding 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 ding, jackpot! Yep, you should never be too confident, you should never be too cocky, because after that engine fire I low roll with my shot as well, and E100 of course does not fail to high roll. 750 alpha gun hits, 809, and I have been destroyed. Me saying jackpot actually meant that the E100 got the jackpot. But guys, 4,291 damage done in the game, what we can see, but we had 2 blind shots as well. 1 into IS-3 and 1 into, did you guess correctly, guys? Judas 03. Yes, I did hit Judas 03 as well. Ace tanker in a +2 matchmaking actually, which is not too bad thing to get. 4,800 damage as well, and very nice amount of credits, as you can see. 300,000 it shows, and 250,000 raw profit, which is just very freaking beautiful. And here in my garage, like Ty Lopez would say,
here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
we have the Iron Arnie and the setup, the crew I was using just to showcase you how I was playing this vehicle and how I would recommend this tank playing or to play with right now at least. This is what seems to be working for me. Rammer, improved aiming, turbo. I have the bounty versions on over here and also using food. This tank didn't burn too much, I have to say. Maybe I was set on fire once. After all the battles I played with this, but not much more. So what other good things this tank has and bad things as well? Let's talk about those, you know, DPM being the worst thing. Then the gun depression minus 10 degrees is absolutely amazing. Minus 10 degrees of gun depression allows this tank to play in most of the positions you want to play with this vehicle. It has 1300 hit points. Armor, well, talking about the armor, for that we have to go right over here to showcase this a bit more because it actually bounces quite a lot. I have to say this is, you know, like the equivalent of the Super Pershing without the special matchmaking. It has a bit umphier gun, of course, and here it is comparing it to the Super Pershing as well. It has a bit, you know, bigger boomstick. Instead of 240 alpha you get 320 more penetration, but of course you can see tier 10s as well, which Super Pershing cannot do. But it is a tricky armor because you can see it has quite a bit of spaced armor right over here, and many people are shooting the lower plates right over here bouncing off because you do not get, like if you have let's say 220 millimeters of penetration, you do not get the currently chance to penetrate this tank, so you have to watch out, and especially the upper plate is very tough for this vehicle, and if you angle it as well you can see it gets quite nutty right over here. It has turret ring weak spot if you are seeing this tank hull down, and if you're able to see the turret ring you can damage that while this tank is hull down, and the commander hatch as well. But overall, I would rate this armor quite nice actually. And comparing Iron Arnie to the Super Pershing a bit more, because this was the most frequently asked questions on the live stream while I was playing with Iron Arnie. People asking, would I rather play with this vehicle or with Super Pershing? Which one I prefer, which one is better? So you can see that Super Pershing has a bit better DPM, but lower penetration, lower alpha damage because it has the preferential matchmaking. It can only see up to tier 9 tanks, and I would say this is the biggest pro for Super Pershing, of course. Gun handling slightly better on paper inside the game, but actually I would say equal, right? Because you can see that the stats what make or break the vehicle, and this is why we have to use third-party sites such as thanks.gg, which is kind of stupid that we do not have the gun handling, full gun handling stats available in the game, like the moving dispersion, tank traverse dispersion, turret dispersion. Those are the stats which usually make or break the gun handling, and you can see that on paper it is a lot worse, but those dispersion values just make this gun so much more enjoyable actually in many cases than Super Pershing's gun, because Super Pershing doesn't have that good of a stabilization. They both have minus 10 degrees of gun depression, which is excellent. Now mobility, as you can see, they have similar top speed, or E4 has slightly better, but overall mobility I would say definitely is better on Iron Arnie. It has the same top speed, yes, but it has more power to weight ratio, it has better terrain resistance numbers, which are another thing which we do not see in the game, sadly, and definitely winning over here. And if I slap turbo on it, I can get my power to weight ratio up to 19, which is very nice. Armoring and health, which is better? Well, Super Pershing has 200 more hit points, which is very big thing. You have preferential matchmaking and extra 200 hit points. This is massive. Like, how many times I have been put under 200 hit points, like uncountable amount of times, right? I would be dead in Iron Arnie in those type of situations, but I can still play with I would still be able to play with D26 E4 Super Pershing. But overall armoring, I would say Super Pershing is actually trickier tank to penetrate for most of the players, because on Iron Arnie you have those obvious weak spots like the turret ring, which is not, you know, that easily penetrable, but you have the edge of the lower plate, the edge of the spaced armor plates. In the front you have the commander hatch, which is very nicely visible for everyone to penetrate. So I would say super brushing maybe versus many players is trickier tank to take out, but Iron Arnie's armor still is holding up quite nicely, especially in tier 8 games, tier 8, tier 9 games. So camo, super rushing has better for some reason, and all the other stats right over here, which do not matter too much, I would say so in a nutshell. So overall, how I would rate this tank, how I would rate Iron Arnie, I would say this is straight out solid tier 8 premium medium tank. I did enjoy playing with it, I really did enjoy. I wanted to play one more battle, I wanted to play another battle, I wanted to play another battle after that, because I don't know, it somehow simply worked. It is not overpowered, it is not like outrageous like the BZ-176, or it is not a tank filled with gimmicks like the M47 but I would say this is, this tank is in a bit of a shadow because of those two tanks, I would say, because everybody is talking about either BZ-176 or the M because, you know, filled with gimmicks, jet boosters, whatnot. This tank, just solid, making you some credits, making you some money in the game, what you need, and it works. At least this is my experience with this tank so far. The worst thing is the low DPM, which is quite a boner killer in some cases for sure. But what do you think about this tank? Have you seen it? Have you played with it? Have you faced it? What is your take on Iron Arnie? Let me know in the comments down below. And now let's announce winners to my giveaway. Large box, as I said, 100 boxes, but I decided to throw a couple extra boxes into it because of the bundles as well and because you guys deserve it. So the winners are on the screen right now. Congratulations, if you see your name, please log into your server's premium store on the website and manually accept it, because you have to do this manually, because I'm not Wargaming, those are not sponsored by Wargaming, those are coming from my pocket, straight from my pocket, and you have to manually accept it yourself. Please do that before 30 days, otherwise I am simply going to get those back. And if you do not see your name on the screen right now, then do not worry, because I would like to have many more giveaways to my beautiful subscribers, because we are over here together, guys. I'm in the position to give stuff away because of you, and I would like to give something back. Stay awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Stay beautiful, and if you are not still part of the Santa's Helpers family or the team, if you haven't picked the team and if you want to be part of my team, feel free to do that. Links are in the top pinned comment. We're going to get the Red Hat Battalion duty style and even more giveaways shared between everyone who used the code. Thank you so much for tuning in. I get you next time with something else. Take care and bye.